other people in the journalistic space. Quote the Raven, nevermore.
The Raven's mascot, his name is Poe.
I know. Listen, I know.
It's Poe.
You know, if it's not about sports, I find it very hard to concentrate.
You're not very bright, are you?
No, I'm not. I would like to be, but I'm not.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen live.
I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts on the drive-in this morning. And one of the hosts of the show, Chew, found themselves in a conundrum. And I'm just curious how someone like yourself, I immediately thought of you.
Okay.
So shout out to the Shotgun Start. It's a golf podcast. They, kind of like us. They don't always stick to their script, right? They don't always. Supposedly, we're a sports show here. We got Adam Schefter coming up later, so we'll talk some NFL stuff there. But he had ordered some groceries to be delivered to his house on Sunday night. And he went out to his front porch, opened up the door, no groceries. But they had a picture. His wife said, no, they said they were delivered. But clearly they could see a front door that wasn't theirs in the picture. They end up kind of searching around the neighborhood, sending some texts to neighbors that they know. And one neighbor goes, oh, yeah, I recognize that front door, and points him in the right direction. So at like 9:30 at night, they end up knocking on somebody's door who had their groceries wrongly delivered to them. And what do you think these people did, Chew?
Kept them.
They took the groceries in and unloaded them as if they were their own.
Finders keepers.
They ended up sitting there and getting a lot of their groceries back. They apparently went into the kitchen of the couple that took their groceries. If we know, during the summer out at the lake house, you had packages that were wrongly delivered. Clearly, somebody just got the bleep-its and left like 4 or 5 packages that were clearly not yours by your garage.
Correct.
And you weren't going to deliver them, sure. But, I feel like there's something different about groceries. If somebody leaves groceries on your front stoop.
Yes.
Are you just taking them in and putting them into your own refrigerator as if they're yours?
I think there's a time limit. Because it's cold at night, or maybe, I don't know, wherever this place was, the groceries could probably make it through the night. But if they're there in the morning, what are you going to do?
I mean, based on this...
They're gonna go bad. At least some of them will.
It seemed like there was, hey, these groceries were supposed to be here. They got delivered 15 minutes ago. And maybe it took them another half hour to kind of figure out what house it was at. But,
All right. Can I give you a scenario that happened here?
Okay. But groceries to me are just something completely different. I feel if there were groceries left on my front, first of all, I mean, I guess it depends, because I've done the grocery delivery thing before. We've done that at our house, and usually it's more than just 2 bags. Usually somebody's taken a couple of trips from the grocery delivery mobile to our front door, and we have the Ring camera. So if you don't have the camera system set up in the front of the house, although so many people do now, if I see somebody delivering groceries, I'm just going to turn on the microphone of my camera and be like, hey, I didn't order groceries. You're at the wrong. I'm going to tell the person you're delivering them to the wrong house, because I'm not going to figure out who they belong to. It's impossible for me to figure out who they belong to. It's not like there's a receipt in the bag with the address. And now I just have groceries on my front stoop. But I'm taking them into your own house and pretending they're yours, to me just seemed really strange.
Yes, in that situation, I would do the same if I saw on the camera that they were delivering them there.
Yeah.
But what happens if you weren't home and you came home and found them there? Like I said, I would have left them overnight, and then if no one claimed them, then I'd be like, well, I'm not going to let them. It's got to be the delivery service's responsibility.
Correct.
to write it, but let me tell you what happened here.
Okay.
And this was about 3 weeks ago. We were doing the show. So we have a pool here, and we get it cleaned every Thursday.
Okay.
Right? So Angie's kind of a bottom feeder when it comes to certain things that need to be done around the house. And what I mean by bottom, we're not paying top dollar to have our – how hard is it to clean a pool, right?
Doesn't seem too difficult.
So if we can get it done for $50 a month, we're not paying a company $100 a month because they wear nice uniforms and things like that. So I was sitting here doing the show, and it was a Monday, and this guy came in a nice little uniform, and he starts cleaning our pool, and I'm like, the hell is this all about? So I'm on the air watching him cleaning the filter, which our guy doesn't do, which he will do now.
Okay. That's
so
a
the
new
guy
requirement.
clearly went to the wrong house.
Well, because I'm assuming in your neighborhood there are plenty of houses that have pool. Yeah.
Everyone has a pool. And this guy had to be the bougie end of it, because our guy doesn't. Our guy's great. Oscar does a great job. Wonderful. Right? Doesn't wear a uniform. He just is kind of a do-it-yourself kind of company kind of guy, and this one was clearly from a nice company, so I let him go and knock himself out. And then he realized he was at the wrong house. Should I have stopped him?
I mean, you knew, and you took advantage to get it free.
I had an inkling. I don't know if I knew I had an inkling.
It seems like you knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah.
It seems because based on, like you said, the fancy uniform, you kind of knew it was a little higher end. I mean, maybe because that doesn't seem... Who cleans your pool? Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Whoever cleans your pool does not seem like to me that is a you decision. Seems like that is a decision that goes above your head. So I can understand if maybe you send a text to the person who makes that decision and go, "Hey, did we get a new pool cleaning service?" And if she doesn't answer, she doesn't answer. But if she says yes, then maybe you should go to the guy and say, "Hey, I think you're at the wrong house."
She saw it too. She saw it too. It's kind of like Amazon. When Amazon screws you, hey, you got to screw them back.
Yeah, but
right?
like Amazon, like I understand with Amazon because Amazon's this multi-billion-dollar company, right? Like a little bit of here and there. I can't imagine that these pool cleaning services are worth billions of dollars. Like this guy's time is worth something, and now he just had to work for free because you guys decided you wanted a freebie. Meanwhile, if somebody decided they wanted a freebie from you, you'd flip the bleep out.
Correct.
That's probably fair. Well, if it happens again, I'll tell him.
Well, I think he knows now that that's not...
At the end of the day, everything kind of comes out in the wash. Do you agree with that?
No.
Yeah, it does. You don't think so?
I think in certain things,
yes.
I mean, like we've had this discussion where, like, if Josh and I go out, right? Like, I have no idea between me and Josh who bought the last round. Mm-hmm. Have no idea. I feel like that's going to come out in the wash.
Yes,
like
exactly.
I've gotten him enough, he's gotten me enough. Like it's just the flow of how the friendship works. But you took advantage of a guy.
A little bit, but there's no handshake deal. You can't do a handshake deal.
How?
I mean, if you buy something big today, and they get paid, they could care less what the problems are after they got their check. Most companies care less. Spectrum sucks. Let me just tell you. The whole problem with yesterday is Spectrum sucks. Goodbye. We don't need you anymore. We're getting new internet service with fiber optics. Don't know what that means, but it sounds bougie.
It is
so
bougie.
There should be no more problems.
For those who were not listening or watching yesterday, Chewy was on for
45.
So he was here for the first part of the show, and then he had to get bounced, and we eventually got him back at some point because the internet was working.
Yeah, part-time.
Yeah. So yesterday was a part-time.
See now?
But he did grind. He grinded to find a solution, so you were a grinder yesterday. I will give you
guys used me. Like I used the pool guy that didn't get paid. You used me because after the first segment, my buddies were like, that was so bad. Why didn't they just tell you just to go away?
Well, because
on you guys.
But we did tell you to go away after we knew it was bad. We didn't know it was bad until we had the segment.
Also, I was the one dealing with Chewy behind the scenes trying to get it together. And when I say somebody was hinting towards a lack of I'd rather just not even try, that's what I would say was the impression I got.
And additionally, you didn't get a freebie yesterday. I know you don't know the answer to this, but I think I do. Did you or did you not get paid for yesterday's show?
I don't know. I've never seen if I gotten a check from them. I have no idea.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know how to go into ADP or whatever it is.
Hey, you got it right.
No one helps me out. I have no idea. And Joshy, it wasn't just you. I had someone chirping in my ear from the balcony above. Get on the show. The internet's working. I'm like, damn it.
You could have.
Yeah.
If
So
it wasn't for her,
you.
if it wasn't for her, Chew, we would have had no idea. You could have played it off like, internet came back at like 11 o'clock yesterday.
I'll take it one step farther, right?
Yep.
So a friend of ours who produces movie, we went to a premiere last night, which I don't want to do. It's Tuesday. I have a schedule. So the premiere started at like 6:45. I didn't get home till 9 o'clock. You know what she says to me? Because I was kind of, you
were being an NFL boy?
A little bit. Yeah, NFL boy. You know what she says to me? You didn't even work today. I'm like, what the hell does that have to do anything? I still wake up at 6:15 in the morning to get prepared for the show. It's not my fault that the internet goes out.
You did about half a show yesterday. It was like a half day.
So I'm a little off today because I didn't get to bed until like 9:30, which is way past my bedtime on a Tuesday.
Poor baby.
And you know what I had? I had 2 pieces of cold pizza and some pretty good chicken tenders. But that's not a meal for me.
Well, how many chicken tenders?
Like 3.
But
when you run off of jet fuel, you can't put low-test, nasty gas station gas in the body and expect me to perform.
Define, okay, like...
So just to encapsulate the segment, you complained about somebody improperly doing your in-ground pool, someone who shouldn't be doing it. But
they did it for free.
Yeah, they did it for free. You then complained about the 45 minutes of work you had to do yesterday, and now you didn't have a good enough meal and went to bed late.
Yes, but here's the problem,
How do you
Josh.
live?
The job,
day to day.
The job is not talking on the radio. That's the easiest part. The job is mentally preparing yourself to go on to the radio, which I did.
And then obviously, that did not come to fruition. 800-990-3776 is the Car Blues Talking text line. Let's go to Jim in Saukville. Jim, you are on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What I don't understand is maybe this is a generational thing. I would just call the store and they would have to take care of fixing everything. Why wasn't that the approach? I certainly wouldn't take it upon myself to bother my neighbors asking them if they recognize the door. Just a thought.
So what happened? Yep. So that was a question, Jim. So again, remember this was Sunday. The groceries were delivered at like 9 o'clock. I don't know what time the grocery. So apparently it was a Whole Foods. So it was a Whole Foods Amazon thing. But they needed the groceries, and they knew that, hey, if they replace these groceries, it's not going to happen until Monday. And they needed apparently some things in those groceries for their kids' lunches for school the next day. So that was the urgent behavior of, hey, these groceries are being delivered. I need this stuff for my kids for the morning so they have lunch at school tomorrow.
I also have, especially when it comes to things with Amazon and really any gig working job, I'm going to do my due diligence to not potentially cost that person their job.
Sure.
Who is doing the delivering. Because that, to me, like, honest mistakes happen. You've got a lot going on. It's pretty stressful, the time, how long it takes you to do all this stuff. That if it's, I don't have to move heaven and earth if I walk down the street 3 houses and go, hey, what's going on? The groceries is different now. Because they then loaded them into their own refrigerator.
Correct. Yep.
That makes it. But once you got them and they're like, yeah, sorry, we didn't know who it was. We just kind of took it. I guess you're then committed, right?
Yes. You're just pot committed.
We'll just keep them.
Well,
because you still need the food for your kids' lunches for the next day.
But you know what? It'd be so easy if you went on to Google Maps or whoever these drivers are. Because Gabe, you've been to the one house, the big. It's kind of confusing. and GPS always sends it to the wrong house. So if I have a friend that's coming up for the first time, I take a picture of the house and then I send it to him.
Oh yeah, like you sent me
So
when I had to come
yes.
out to your house. You were like the most specific you have ever been with me in anything about
Yes.
where the house was and where I needed to go.
Yeah, it just makes life easier, and then you don't have this problem. My question is, you think Whole Foods or whoever did the delivery service passes that on to the driver saying, hey, you screwed up, this is coming out of your pay?
So Whole Foods is different because, again, that's an Amazon.
Yes.
And, again, as we discussed earlier, Amazon can afford to eat a $150, $200.
If you live anywhere
thing.
in a more metropolitan area and you see bottles of urine on the side of the road, that's because Amazon doesn't allow their drivers to take bathroom breaks.
Come on. I've never heard of that.
Yeah. That is a common issue that has been written about a lot. Their timing is it's very strict.
I mean, I do that too because my big
Well,
that I
for
bring it
different
to work.
reasons.
Yeah, yours is just simply I don't feel like stopping at a gas station, so here
Well,
we
I
go.
don't think if you're not getting gas, you shouldn't use the bathroom. And it's usually I have a full tank of gas, so. Like, if you go to McDonald's to take a leak, you should buy something, right?
Oh, 100%. Like, if I'm driving up to Lambeau, like I will be this
Yeah.
weekend, Shu, if I got to stop at a Quick Trip,
Yeah.
like I'm going to grab a coffee
Correct.
or something. Like, if I got to stop and use the bathroom, I am, and I don't need gas, yes, I am going to buy something. Like, I'm not going to use your bathroom for free. 800-990-3776. I'm really curious on this. I want to hear from Cody in Kentucky, who's got a take on grocery delivery. Cody, you're on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Hey, good morning, folks. It's a pleasure. What we do down here, like, I know not everybody lives in a neighborhood, but it happens a lot. If we get groceries delivered to our house that aren't ours, we just do a quick post on our neighborhood Facebook page. Say, hey, here's a picture. We just got groceries delivered. Anybody missing groceries? And that usually solves the issue.
Yeah,
Very nice of you.
Yeah, that is good. Where I live now, there's no, like, I guess I could join, like, the Nextdoor app or whatever to see. But
Yeah.
when
Our
I was
neighborhood has a Facebook
yeah, when I was in River West, I mean, the River West Facebook page is an interesting place to exist in. And they had a lot of fun with the guy that we talked about last week, who in River West just openly used his government name and admitted to selling both cocaine and weed after his house got raided. A lot of fun was had on the River West Facebook page, from my understanding, with that gentleman. But yeah, the neighborhood, I don't think we have like a Facebook page for the neighborhood I live in now.
Mine does, and there's a lot of that stuff that goes on. Or, hey, my dog's missing. Or, hey, we're doing this block party. Feel free to stop by. Like, that stuff happens a lot, especially with Amazon deliveries and strange stuff that happens.
Yeah, people helping people.
Yeah. So why should it be?
Yeah, like you're one of these people helping people as you sit there and
It's a song, Gabe.
watch the guy,
You and I
watch the
should
guy,
live in perfect harmony.
you and watching the
know.
guy clean your pool for free.
He's a nice guy, though.
Yeah, obviously he was. Unbelievable. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Pella Windows and Doors, Wisconsin. When it comes to your home, the smart play is trusting Gina Della and her team at Pella. This month, you can score a whole house of new, energy-efficient Pella windows for as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months. That's like a drive you can sustain for years, keeping your home comfortable thanks to incredible defense played by Pella Windows, stopping the drafts. A lot of people here over the years have trusted Pella Windows and Doors, Wisconsin. I'm just the latest. I didn't need windows. I needed the front door. It looks fantastic. The customizable options, the colors that they had really brought that door to life in the front of our home. So don't wait. Schedule your free consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, it's a little slow. Eastbound 94 coming in from about 76th Street through the stadium interchange to about 35th. The westbound side slowing down from 27th to Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 41, watch for backups from Mayfair Road all the way up past Burleigh. Southbound is going to be a bit backed up. We got an accident on 41 southbound just south of Appleton Avenue. It's off on the right shoulder, making for a little bit of a backup through that area. Also seeing delays around the Good Hope Road curve, and then beyond the accident, slowing down all the way to Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny and breezy, a high of 54. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 42. Weather's brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Play over 2,000 courses, including that famous one with the green jackets. Book your bay at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Kevin Moret here for Mentality. Listen up, gentlemen. You're fighting an unfair battle. Studies show testosterone levels in men have plummeted by 25% in just 2 decades. That's why you're struggling with energy, muscle, and drive. But here's a game changer. Mentality's FDA-approved treatments boost testosterone by 30% on average. Imagine reclaiming the vitality your grandfathers had. Picture turning heads, dominating your career, and feeling unstoppable again. Don't settle for today's normal. Seize the day at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Thinking about buying or building a new home? Start with a mortgage pre-approval from Great Midwest Bank and experience a state of tranquility. At Great Midwest Bank, we offer fast approvals and flexible options with experienced loan officers who understand the local market, because they live here too. Whether you're breaking ground for new construction or buying that dream home just around the corner, we'll guide you every step of the way. Bank with confidence and start your journey at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Your neighbors are talking. Did you see their siding? Yikes. That drafty window? It's basically air conditioning. From nature. Don't be the scary house on the block this fall. Call Exterior Pros and Baths and get $3,000 off your roofing, siding, windows, or bath project. No tricks, just treats. That's 262-800-4274 or click your way to extpros.com. Fall in love with your home again. Trust the pros.
They say a full marathon is the ultimate test. For me, it's more than a race. It's a milestone I once thought impossible. Michelle Smallman here, and I'm running my very first marathon in New York City with the support of Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assist, powered by Parity. Together, we're empowering girls and women through sports and education, with grants to 32 organizations in 21 states. Every step I take is for the finish line and for the next generation chasing their dreams. Here's to 26.2 miles and a future with no limits.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
363.
What's that? The number of yards they gave up on the ground against the Philadelphia
It's a Bible verse, John 3:63. Look it up. Tell us what it
I
says.
thought it was Joe 363, and it was thou shalt not get past me on the line of scrimmage.
On 94.5 ESPN.
You guys done? You guys done fighting right now in the...
No, I'm sending it to my buddy.
Oh, jeez.
Joshy's in for a war.
Yeah, telling me they have a policy that allows bathroom breaks, but then all the workers saying, well, actually, no, we don't have time because if we get behind, we have to then make it up.
I love it.
There's been, I don't know, court hearings about it.
Yeah.
There have been, I mean, the entire break, Chewy and Josh have just been going back and forth in our text chain, just firing back articles of whether or not Amazon drivers are allowed bathroom breaks.
Hey, I'm mediating. I'm just mediating.
Josh doesn't even know who he's going up against. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Has no idea. Josh just is in it for the
Sounds
fight.
like somebody owns Amazon stock and is trying to change public opinion.
This guy's retired. I claim I'm retired. This guy's really retired. So he's got a lot of time on his hands.
On the Carbless Talking text line, 800-990-3776, Matt and Racine saying, going back to the pool cleaner who Chewy watched clean his pool for free, knowing it was not the right pool cleaner, could be a tactic by this pool cleaner to get more business. You accidentally clean the wrong pool, see how good they did, bam, you get hired.
You know what? And that did cross my mind.
Okay.
Because he pulled the filter out, went over to the hose, and I hadn't seen my guy do that. So I have to say that this guy did do a better job, but price point is huge with the person.
Well, did you ask this guy what his price point was?
Next time he comes around, I will. He actually cleans my neighbor's pool.
Well, duh.
Yeah, I didn't think that one through. Sorry.
Yeah, that was a harsh duh. That was like he was on you right away. That one stinks.
This is what happens when you have cold pizza and
chicken
tenders the night before.
Wait, so how many chicken tenders would you need in order for you to consider it a full meal? How many did you have, and how many would you need?
Well, I'm not going to lie because I was pouting, which I have a tendency to do.
Been known to happen from time to time.
Because there was a little gathering before, nothing big. It was probably 100 people watching this thing. So I didn't want to dive into the pizza while everyone was congregating.
Okay.
So by the time I got into the theater, it was ice cold. I hate cold pizza.
You have been on the record for that.
So my wife, who's great, she's like, just have the tenders. And I'm like an idiot out of spite. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to eat them. I'm just going to starve and go to bed hungry.
You're a child.
Yeah,
Yeah, I am. When it comes to food, yes. Complete child.
No, I'm not going to eat that.
That's,
I don't have my barbecue sauce.
The honey mustard is actually really good.
Yeah, it is. I would say honey mustard is an underrated thing for chicken tenders.
Totally underrated.
Okay, we have been distracted by nonsense long enough. We dive into some hardcore sports because we are less than a week away from the trade deadline in the NFL. Nobody better to talk to than Adam Schefter, who joins us next.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Southbound on 41, backing up from the county line down past Good Hope Road, back on the break south of Appleton Avenue. Remember, we do have a crash off on the right shoulder south of Appleton, all the way down to about Capitol Drive is where the delays are. Northbound, slowing from just before Mayfair Road up past Burleigh. Eastbound 94, heavy now from 92nd Street all the way through the stadium interchange to 35th. Westbound, slowing from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. And then on southbound 43, backing up from just before Good Hope Road down to Bender Road. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. John Neal and his team know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly sunny and breezy, a high of 54. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 42. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Smart 18 knows that success takes teamwork. With top-level training, healthcare, and retirement plans, Smart Local 18 gives you the tools to win on and off the job site. Visit smart18.org and join the team that builds America.
Now's the time to plan your total experience getaway to the Island Resort and Casino. With over 450 hotel rooms and a luxurious spa, relax in style before diving into non-stop casino action. Watch your favorite teams on the big screens and enjoy great food and drinks at T. McSee Sports Bar, or savor top-tier dining at Horizon Steakhouse. Then amp up your night with live music and comedy. Head to where the big game, big wins, and big fun come together. The Island Resort and Casino.
It's Jason Wilde from Wilde & Tausch. Upgrade your industrial supply services with Lakeland Supply, your trusted ISO certified partner for custom packaging, shipping supplies, janitorial, and safety supply solutions. With over 40 years of industry excellence, Lakeland Supply is a proven one-stop source with over 95% of their products made in the U.S. And they treat their customers like family. Personalized service with a national reach. That's what Lakeland Supply does. Visit lakelandsupply.com to discover how they can make your business better.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night Show for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
Hey y'all, it's the Rocket Roger Clemens here. Spent a lot of time pitching heat. Years later, the pain in my joints remind me of those days, but I'm not looking to sit still.
How you doing?
And I definitely am not interested in going under the knife. That's why I chose QC Kinetics.
Not just for elite retired athletes. QC Kinetics gives everyday folks joint pain relief using regenerative treatments that work with your body to help repair joint damage.
No surgery, no long recovery, whether it's your knees, hips, shoulders, or back. My friends at QC Kinetics will help you get moving again so you can get back to doing the things you love.
QC Kinetics medical professionals will look at your x-rays or MRI to determine if you're a good candidate.
I trusted QC Kinetics to help me feel like myself again, and I'm proud to recommend them to you.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. 414-667-5559.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Everyone's go-to source for all NFL news.
And we're going to get right to some breaking news here that just came down. This tweet from Adam Schefter.
Adam's on the phone. Adam, you got more news? What do you got?
They're going with another move, and he was the man who knows all, Adam Schefter.
And Joshy's biggest fan.
It's nice to see Josh at the big boy table. Thank you, everybody. Keep up the good work, Josh.
It's ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter. Adam Schefter on JGC is sponsored by Island Resort and Casino, Tony Wendorf and Associates, and Smart 18 Union.
Whether it's HVAC, sheet metal, or welding, Smart 18 members are trained to be the best in the business with top-tier wages, unbeatable benefits, and lifelong career support. It's not just a job, it's a career. Learn more, smart18.org, and start building your future today. Enjoy catching up with our guy, Adam Schefter, each and every Wednesday. Good morning, Adam. How are you doing this morning?
On, guys, how we doing?
Doing great. Packers 5-1-1, beating Aaron Rodgers, sitting on top of the NFC standings. Yeah, I think things are going pretty good here in Wisconsin. Giannis wins last night.
Number one seed in the NFC right now, current number one seed. And I'm sure Detroit will have something to say about that on Thanksgiving Day. But number one seed right now, Jordan Love's coming off probably the best he has looked in a long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was fantastic. And that draft pick that they owe the Dallas Cowboys now looks like it could be potentially in the 30s.
Adam, what does the cornerback trade market look like? Because the Packers seem to have really two guys that can play. They're not happy with Nate Hobbs.
Yep.
Matter of fact, he only played 4 snaps against the Steelers. So, I mean, I would think they may try to do something at the trade deadline. What's that market look like?
Well, there aren't a lot of cornerbacks who are available. Like, there'll be some, I'm sure, that could potentially be traded. The Jets have taken some calls on Michael Carter, who's got some guaranteed money next year. Obviously, they've been through the Jair Alexander experience there in Green Bay and know what that's like. I'm trying to think of other cornerback names that I've heard. And there just are not a lot of cornerbacks available. The best help that they're going to get at that spot is probably the pass rush that they generate up front with Micah Parsons. That's probably the best they could do at cornerback right now, I would think. But you make some calls and you see if you get something done by Tuesday.
Are there any potential interior defensive linemen available? Because that is a spot where the Packers had an injury to Devontae Wyatt. He did return this last week against the Steelers, so that's good for the Packers. But I think they learned that maybe they're a little too thin there because they did have to give up Kenny Clark in that Micah Parsons deal.
Well, Gabe, here's the deal. There are a lot of teams thin in that area, and at cornerback spot too. I'm just going to my list as we talk here of players that I thought could be potentially available. I just don't think you're going to find a lot of those guys that are available. Here we go. Cornerbacks. Oh, Tariq Woolen is a name that would be out there. I think Seattle will move off him. That would be an interesting name to follow. I had Roger McCreary down. He's already been traded. Defensive tackles, I got down 1, Shelby Harris. Defensive ends, I had Keon White, Arden Key, Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb. Those are some names that I'm looking at on my list of a checklist of players.
Adam, is Asante Samuel Jr. still on the street, or did he?
Not healthy. He hasn't been healthy. He's still on the street, but he had some kind of medical issue that prevented him from being ready. And I don't know that he still is.
And I guess we'll know when teams start working him out, right? Like, and that we will see that name out there whenever he's healthy. I'm assuming teams are going to work him out because that is, as you pointed out, a position that not just the Packers would be interested in upgrading.
Most every team in the league has some kind of need at the defensive back position, cornerback position especially.
What have you made of some of the more creative? So you mentioned McCreary who gets traded, and there are pick swaps in there, which is, until that trade, I thought something that was mostly reserved for the NBA when they're making these big trades. What do you make of seeing some teams getting creative in trying to acquire some of these players?
They're not big trades. You know, it's like these teams move off these players. Like when the Patriots trade Keon White yesterday, Keon White in a 7 for a 6. That's not exactly a blockbuster with all due respect. You know, Kyle Duggar, same kind of thing. They traded the Steelers with a 7 for a 6. So they're basically trading the guy to move up a round on the last day of the draft. What it is these teams clearing out the player and getting the roster spot back that they'd rather use elsewhere on another player. And yeah, you improve your draft capital some, you move up a round, but that's not why you're really doing it. You're moving the money off your books. You're moving the spot or clearing out the spot, and now you can go add a player that you want to have on your roster, and you save a little bit of money.
Adam, is New England the biggest surprise of the season thus far?
I would say Indianapolis is just as surprising. Indianapolis,
yeah.
Right now, the number 1 seed in the AFC, and we have gone from discussing who is going to win that starting quarterback job between Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. Think about that for a second. To now wondering whether the Colts can hold on to the number 1 seed, whether they could beat the Chiefs or the Broncos or whoever it may be in the postseason. And Indianapolis has turned into, a legitimate Super Bowl contender, and nobody expected that to be the case.
Is Daniel Jones, are they looking to extend him? And if so, what would that number be?
Well, I think they're going to look to extend him, but early, and you want to see how he finishes up. He wants to see how the full year goes. I think that what happens in a case like this, it's like Baker Mayfield going to Tampa, some of these reclamation projects, when these quarterbacks find a home, a place that believes in them, that they're happy in after going through a lot of tumultuous times in their career, they're happy to sign on. And I think in this particular case, Daniel Jones is going to be happy to sign on in Indianapolis, but they haven't had any discussions yet.
Adam Schefter on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, brought to you by Tony Wendorf and Associates. Just like the moves made in the pros, Tony Wendorf and Associates, First Weber Group, helps people make their own big moves every day. Trusted knowledge, superior service. They're the real estate MVPs of Wisconsin. If you're looking to buy or sell a house, make the move. Get in touch with Tony Wendorf and Associates. I mean, we bring up Daniel Jones, and last year the version of that was Sam Darnold. You bring up Baker Mayfield. Guys that were first-round picks didn't last in their original spot. Do you think teams are going to be more careful about letting guys like that walk out their doors? Or is it just, hey, it didn't work out here, maybe it works out elsewhere?
I don't know that guys are going to be more careful. I think that what happens is it gets to a certain spot where it doesn't feel like it can work anymore. Daniel Jones, when he was released by the New York Giants about a year ago, it just didn't feel like it had any kind of future. And he went to Minnesota and he began to rehab his mind and his reputation. And Kevin O'Connell spent time working with him, and the Vikings saw what kind of quarterback he could be. And then after the season, the Vikings had interest in bringing him back, but the Colts also were interested. And so the Colts offered more money and signed him. They offered a better opportunity. Daniel Jones knew that Kevin O'Connell had J.J. McCarthy, who they had invested a first-round draft pick in, and Anthony Richardson, the first in Indy, already been benched. So I think Daniel Jones felt like that was a better opportunity to start. And we go across the league, and all the guys that have been ones, you don't know what that's like in Green Bay and Milwaukee very much. But the environment.
We just draft guys and they hit, Adam. Like, I don't understand what's so hard about it.
Correct. The environment has become so toxic after a while, and the fan base wants to move off these guys, and there's so much discussion and negativity and criticism that it probably will not work. The quarterback can't be salvaged there. He needs to go on to another place to work with other people that believe in him, where it's quieter, where there aren't the expectations, where there's not the negativity that's built up. But, by the way, like, you see it. Sam Darnold in New York, Daniel Jones in New York. There's something about being in New York that's real. It's real. There's just everything is a bit more magnified. And by the way, we're talking about Green Bay. Not as much. I mean, how do I say this? There's as much scrutiny because people love their Packers just like they love their Giants and Jets. But the New York media market is just different than the Wisconsin media market. Mm-hmm. That's all. Mm-hmm. And these players, I think, are subjected to more noise and more negativity than they would be elsewhere.
Adam, with the recent allegations that have surfaced with the NBA coaches and players in regards to gambling, do you think this scares the NFL, and are they doing anything proactively to make sure that this doesn't happen? Because I'll tell you this, and this is on a different level, Adam. You know, Green Bay has a casino in Green Bay, and the Packers would have someone in there to monitor, because we knew how much, if a guy was spending too much time in there. Do you think this scares the NFL, and do you think they're doing anything proactively to make sure that this does not happen in their league?
Sure, I think it's always scared the NFL. I think one of the greatest fears of the league always has been the integrity of the game and the gambling that comes along with it. Think about how long gambling was completely frowned upon. How, the league wouldn't even allow a fantasy football convention to be held when Tony Romo was running it in Las Vegas about 10 or so years ago. They put the clamps down on that. And now the league's partners are gambling companies. Now, it's prevalent. Now there are betting lines on ESPN. Now it's everywhere. It's infiltrated society, and even the league is signed on. But saying all that, I still think the league is very leery about all these types of situations, and they educate their players and talk to them about the perils and dangers that are ahead. And these injury reports, like, it's no accident last week that Baltimore now is under investigation and being scrutinized for the way that it listed Lamar Jackson. I mean, I can't prove this. I'm sure there would have been questions and there would have been maybe interviews and everything, but I don't know that it would have gotten quite the amount of attention that it did if it hadn't come in the week in which Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups both were arrested.
Talking with Adam Schefter, as we do every Wednesday here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. It's a story that I don't know has gotten enough attention here in the NFL, Adam, and maybe it just happens more than I realize. But Carson Wentz playing what he played through, for a team that he has no future in Minnesota. The future in Minnesota is J.J. McCarthy. And J.J.'s hurt. Carson suffers an injury and guts out 2.5 weeks of a dislocated shoulder that included a torn labrum and fractured socket. He is now having season-ending surgery. J.J. McCarthy able to return. How often does this actually happen? Am I just being naive that more players are doing this? I mean, he basically did this to protect J.J. McCarthy so he didn't have to come back too early from an injury, and he suffered through that to help out a team that he has no future with. I think that's incredible.
I don't know if he had all those injuries. I don't know the answer to this. Like, I don't know whether he had some of it and then it got worse, because it seemed like in that last game he got pounded. Mm-hmm. And I don't know things that happened in that last game, like he was playing with this and he got that, or he had this and then added to it. I don't know the exact sequence of events, but I think the point is, players, and Chewy could address this even better than I can, but players play through injuries that sometimes the public doesn't realize the extent of which they go through to get on the field. Like, even Jawan Jennings the 49ers wide receiver, just comes to mind. After the game a couple of weeks ago, he told reporters he's been playing with 5 broken ribs and a high and low ankle sprain. Now, you go out there, you shoot up the ribs, you get a Toradol shot, you put on a flak jacket, you go out there, but can you imagine playing with 5 broken ribs? You know how painful that must be?
That's crazy.
Running routes, breathing that heavy? No.
Yeah, so there's Carson Wentz, there's Juwan Jennings, and these are just 2 of how many examples, right, of guys playing through. Guys are listed on the injury report, shoulder. Oh, we don't know that the labrum's torn, these things happen all the time. Am I right?
Yeah, they do. The thing that was big back when I played at them, because they really didn't monitor it, was concussions. I mean, I stayed in the game with concussions. I mean, a bunch of players. There was a story I'll never forget, Adam. We're playing in Detroit, and Don Beebe catches like a 50-yard touchdown. I ran over because he got drilled at the end of the play. I ran over to celebrate with him. He was snoring.
Wow.
He was knocked out. He was snoring, and he didn't leave the game. He stayed in. So, yeah, I have stories of like that from my day where guys, I mean, Frankie Winters played with a broken fib for like 8 plays. I don't know how he did it because it was snap, but it's kind of actually refreshing for me to hear that guys are willing to. I mean, it's crazy to think of, but that's.
There's a lot that these guys put themselves through. Some guys put themselves through even more. I couldn't put myself through any of that. I'm not tough enough, but these guys certainly are.
All right, so Adam, what's the tracker at right now for trades? Because you have been on the record, because you told our friends over at Unsportsmanlike, you've repeated it here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You thought like somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 to 15 trades before the trade deadline closed out.
That's easy. We're at 7 right now.
Okay.
From the month of October to now, Cam Robinson was traded, Joe Flacco was traded, Odafe Owe and the safety from the Chargers, the cornerbacks, Jacksonville and Cleveland. Then yesterday, New England made those 2 trades, Keon White and Kyle Duggar. That's 7. 7 going into this week and next week, with the deadline being Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central. I still think we'll get, 5 more. I'm guessing. Maybe it's a little more, maybe it's a little less, but when all is said and done, it'll finish up around 12, roughly, maybe more.
Appreciate the time, Adam. Look forward to talking to you next week after that trade deadline.
Yeah, me too. I look forward to that as well, guys. Have a great week.
Maybe quiets down for our guy Adam Schefter after the trade deadline just a little bit. And our conversations with Schefter brought to you by the Island Resort and Casino, a premier resort destination, the largest north of Milwaukee, with everything you like to do in one awesome location. Visit islandresortandcasino.com and book your total experience today.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
At Tony Wendorf & Associates First Weber Group, we do more than close deals. We serve with gratitude and faith-filled purpose. We've sold over $300 million in real estate since 2020, one of the top-ranked real estate teams in Wisconsin, and we're just getting started. What sets us apart? We care. Even if we're not your agent, we'll still help. That's the kind of stewardship the community deserves. If you're buying or selling across southeastern Wisconsin, let us earn your trust. I'm Tony Wendorf, and I want to create your red carpet experience. Contact us at wendorfteam.firstweber.com.
The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers! And tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
It's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some exciting news from my friends at Bank 5-9. Not only have they been named a top workplace for 16 straight years, but they've just won the prestigious Community Choice Award as the best bank in the Milwaukee area. Honestly, I'm not surprised. Not only do they have great products and services, but they truly live out their mission to make lives better. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check out the best. Visit bank59.com to learn more today. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's John McGivern here. You know I love Network Health. One of the reasons is that they're local and they understand how important that is. Their exceptional customer service isn't just words on a page. It's what they do. It's what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I mean, this world is geared towards women. Like, what do we
I
get?
am stepping away from this. Goodbye.
Like, what do we get? They get a comb that dries your hair. We get a stupid razor.
Hey,
I mean, what's the coolest thing we get? They get the hair dryer?
Control.
On 94.5 ESPN.
I just want to make a quick note of yesterday. The Milwaukee Bucks played a primetime game on NBC, which was cool, just to hear the old round ball rock and have that go into a Bucks-Knicks game inside Fiserv Forum. They brought back Bob Costas to do a minute and a half like intro to the game, nice little vignette leading into Bucks-Knicks, and the Bucks won. 121-111. They held the Knicks to just 40 points in the second half. Giannis, another big game, 37-8-7. But when I get worried about Chew, we've had these conversations a little bit before of how we take greatness for granted. Look, I have no idea how ultimately this is all going to play out for Giannis. We know there were rumors. He talked about those rumors last night about how he didn't pay attention to him, saying, hey, I'm here now, and I am as dedicated to this team as I possibly can be, as evidenced by the performance he had last night. And he was proud that the Bucks beat the Knicks because the Knicks swept the Bucks in the regular season last year. But I guess I'm more concerned about us as a fan base because Fiserv Forum, maybe it's just kind of Brewers hangover and a lot of the money that people had maybe for Bucks tickets ended up going towards Brewers playoff tickets because I know those things weren't cheap either. But when I went to opening night, which was the Chris Middleton return game, it wasn't a sellout. Now, you'd see plenty of open seats in the uppers, and even in the section I was in the lower bowl, there were plenty of open seats. And last night, only about 16,000 went, leaving about 1,500 seats open. But I have no idea how much longer Giannis is going to be here. I hope Giannis is here for the rest of his career, and we can watch Giannis all together for the next, 7-8 years, however long Giannis ends up playing in the NBA. But I have no idea what that is, and I am begging Bucks fans, I am pleading with Bucks fans, just enjoy Giannis while he's here. I have no idea how much longer this is going to last. Again, I hope it lasts forever. But maybe we shouldn't take Giannis's greatness for granted because he is going to be on one this season, and I cannot encourage fans enough to make sure they check him out in person.
You think it's any way related to what went down last week with the gambling?
I doubt it, Chew, because because
people gave, and I talked to a lot of people during the day.
You don't.
They were pretty PO'd that this went down.
I mean, you don't talk to a lot of people during the day.
But
your wife has to ask you.
Your wife asks you how many people you talk to.
I have a quota now. I have a quota.
Wait, hold on. What's the quota?
7.
All right. So we count as 1 and 2, right? Me and Josh here are 1 and 2
today. 1, 2.
So if Jen was here, that would be 3.
Does she count as 1?
That'd be 3.
Your wife has to count as 1, so that's 4.
No, she doesn't. No.
What?
No.
But she's a person.
It's like the Joker in the deck. You take it out. You take it out.
Okay, I digress.
The gym depends on the gym. See, today's a cardio day. Not a lot of interaction. So I'll probably talk to. What's talk? Hi. That's not enough?
I don't know. You tell me. I'm sure
I think it's got to be a conversation.
Wait, we just had Schefter on. Does Schefter count?
Oh, that's 3.
Okay.
I don't think I'll talk to anyone at the gym today just because I go right to the bike.
Yeah,
so there. And then I go to Chipotle. I'm saying bowl here, brown rice, pinto beans, double chicken, pepper, queso, lettuce, cheese, sour cream.
Look, I don't know if that counts as talking to someone. That's talking at
Josh,
someone.
That's ordering.
So that doesn't count?
No.
All right, I got my hair cut today, so that's 4.
That one counts.
That one counts because you'll have a conversation.
I gotta go pull. I gotta go pull crab chaps today.
You'll be talking to the
with
person
2 buddies with Angry and my buddy Kyle. That's 5, 6.
You're easy hitting. You're gonna easily hit that.
No, I don't think I'll hit 7. I'll be stuck at 6.
Just give Frankie a call.
He's coming in this weekend.
Yeah.
So just bop around. You'll hit
We
your
don't
7.
we don't call one another. We just text though. Does that count?
I'm not the one making these rules for you. Like, I'm not the one, and I am not going to disagree with whatever parameters your wife has set for you in terms of your human interaction on a daily basis.
I think I'm only getting to 6.
Well, because we've got 3 on the show. 1, 2. Oh, so you just need 1. 1 person at the gym.
Why don't you call one of your kids?
Call Coach.
Yeah, Coach will call. Yeah. Coach. I don't think that counts though.
Why not?
I just don't think it does.
Okay. I feel it should. We're trying to help you out. We're trying to do our part.
Yeah, I know. I'm just under her rules, which are her rules. I don't think it counts. I'm just saying.
All right. Well, if we can help any further, let me know.
Okay.
I can. If you want me to call you up later and do different voices, see if that counts.
I don't know if you want to get on the side of helping Tree fudge the numbers.
Yeah, I already hear voices, Gabe. I don't need to hear real fake voices, so I'm good.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy resumes in 2 minutes.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
All right, westbound 94 just got some backups from 27th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard, and then west of Highway 100, crossing over the county line to Elm Grove Road. Eastbound, a little heavy from Highway 16 to Highway F, back on the brakes just before 84th Street all the way to 35th. And then we've got some delays along southbound 43 from just south of Brown Deer Road down to Bender, and then back on the brakes just before Hampton all the way down to about Locust. Traffic is brought to you by Dick & Schroff Heating and Cooling, now hiring HVAC installers and service technicians. Join a winning positive team culture that sets them apart. Apply today at dickandschroff.com. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Mostly sunny and breezy, a high of 54. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 42. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Now's the time to plan your total experience getaway to the Island Resort and Casino. With over 450 hotel rooms and a luxurious spa, relax in style before diving into nonstop casino action. Watch your favorite teams on the big screens and enjoy great food and drinks at T. McSee's Sports Bar, or savor top-tier dining at Horizon Steakhouse. Then amp up your night with live music and comedy. Head to where the big game, big wins, and big fun come together. The Island Resort and Casino.
The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
This is Brian Balaga. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN.
94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
If I was rooting for a place for him to go, I think it would be Baltimore. You add a legitimate wide receiver to what they have there. Oh.
So what's your first book? Breakfast at Tiffany's. It's kind of old, isn't it? They wanted to read a Truman Capote book. Oh, sure. Truman Capote. He's a great writer. Oh, yeah. Did you ever read anything by him? No. You? Nah.
And on top of it, he did, put out the Instagram post of Edgar Allan Poe. Who? Edgar Allan Poe. You're familiar?
So how's the book coming? I said, how's the book coming? Oh, pretty good. So what's it about? Oh, it's about Holly Golightly. Holly Golightly. Yeah, she's quite a cat. Yes. You haven't read a page, have you?
No. He's a guy.
He's a guy. Very
I picked up on that.
Yeah, very, very famous poet.
Yes, I'm very familiar with Edgar Allan Poe, unlike some other people in the journalistic space. Quote the Raven, nevermore.
The Raven's mascot, his name is Poe.
I know. Listen, I know.
It's Poe.
You know, if it's not about sports, I find it very hard to concentrate. You're not very bright, are you? No, I'm not. I would like to be, but I'm not.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
One of the conversations that maybe we can have with Adam Schefter after we get past the trade deadline. I didn't want to bog him down with this today because, again, trade deadline, and that's where his mind is at, and we're less than a week away. He's got his list of all that. But it's kind of a conversation we've had a little bit here, Chewy, on you can't pay everyone. Mm-mm. And we have now reached this point of the resets, I guess, that we're calling it, from the Packers that started with Jordan Love starting at quarterback and Goody hitting on some of the draft picks that they've had, from 4 or 5 years ago. A lot of those guys are up. Some of those guys got paid. Zach Tom got a big deal this offseason. We've had Christian Watson got a nice little extension just for 1 year, but, a $13 million extension is nothing to sneeze at. For next season, but you're going to still have to make a decision on him after 2026. And the receiver room, we've gone over that. Romeo Doubs, what do you do with him? Dontavian Wicks, what do Jaden Reed. These are all guys that are going to be going into next offseason looking for contract extensions. Tucker Kraft, who I think everybody agrees the Packers are just going to pay because he's one of the special guys on this team. But one of those guys that they did not give the fifth-year option to, and understandably so. I don't think it had anything to do with Quay Walker. Quay Walker could have been the best inside linebacker in the NFL, and they probably wouldn't have given him the fifth-year option just because it didn't make sense. Like, the way they do that, Chew, if you're an outside linebacker, like if you're TJ Watt, right? He's an outside linebacker. He's an edge rusher, but considered a linebacker, so that gets factored into, like, what you would end up paying an inside linebacker. It just doesn't make sense the way they do it. So the money wouldn't have made sense to guarantee a one-year deal for him. But, so the Packers declined it, but said, hey, we're still interested in making Quay Walker a long-term part of this team. We want to come to an extension, an agreement with him. His teammates obviously like him, Chew. He was elected a captain this season. He's got the C on his jersey, still has the green dot, calling the defense out there. But given some of the other options they have at linebacker, and I don't know if he's played well enough to this point, and he's played well. I don't know if he's played well enough to this point where the Packers are going, yeah, this is somebody we need to throw a lot of money at because, as you like to say, you can't pay everybody.
Well, number one, you can't listen or believe them when they say we want to sign him to a long-term extension because I've heard that before.
Well, okay, so I will make this caveat. I believe them when they say they want to sign him to a long-term extension. They want to sign him to a long-term extension at whatever number they have in their mind.
Well, let me ask both of you this. Is he better than Devontae Wyatt at his position? Is Quay Walker better at his position than
Devontae Wyatt is at his position?
Devontae Wyatt is at D tackle. Because they can't pay both of them. They got to either pay one or the other. My guess is they're going to pay Wyatt. And, I mean, Wyatt for an average starting D tackle, Gabe, would you say 17 to 19 million?
Yeah, probably somewhere in that range.
17 to 19. Tucker Kraft's going to be 20. I mean, Quay Walker, what did Zach Bond get with Philly? You know? And I still go to the Ron Wool theory of, your linebackers are third most important, I think, on your defense. I think it's D-line, corner, and then I think, safety and linebacker kind of go hand in hand. But you need a really good D-line, and you need really good corners.
So just out of, so guys like Cameron Hayward are getting $14.5 million. Javon Hargrave for the Minnesota Vikings is $15 million. Ed Oliver, $17 million. Jonathan Allen for the Vikings, $17. Vita Vea is $17.75. So I don't think he's good as Vita, right?
But some of those guys are old. Vita Vea is old, though.
Yeah, but he's not as good as Vita Vea. So I don't think he makes that money. So that's where I think he slots in around that 15. Maybe he gets up to that, close to that at 17, and Vita's the 17th highest paid defensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think right now the Packers have depth at defensive tackle. I think defensive tackle's more of a position of need for them, whereas at linebacker, not that Isaiah McDuffie's better than Quay Walker, but they like Isaiah McDuffie. They think he's a serviceable player. They have Edgerrin Cooper, who they really like. We haven't seen a lot from Tyron Hopper, who was, a relatively high draft pick for this team. So there's just more bodies, and I feel like more depth at that position where if they can't get Quay Walker at what they deem to be a team-friendly deal, and the longer this thing drags out, Chew, the closer that Quay Walker gets to free agency, why would he, the reason why you take a lesser deal or a team-friendly deal is to protect yourself, to give yourself guaranteed money. And the closer we get to free agency, there's nothing to protect, right? Like, now you're a free agent, and you just end up going to the highest bidder. I got to imagine that there's going to be a team that's going to be willing to pay more money for Quay Walker than what the Packers want to, because, again, they have other guys in other areas of need.
And he's young, and he's young. So my guess is, if you haven't heard rumblings yet of him signing an extension, because he gains more leverage as the season goes on.
Yeah.
Because the risk is less. And this is something we can ask Jason, who they are negotiating with out of this group. Doesn't sound like they're negotiating with anybody.
Doesn't seem like it.
It's a little early for Kraft. If they were going to sign... same thing with Dobbs. He's gaining more leverage as the season goes along. Why wouldn't you test free agency?
I can't imagine that they have much interest in re-signing Romeo Dobbs. I know that there's this movement out there. I still don't think that Romeo is somebody that's an extension candidate. Because if you lock him up, you're limiting yourself of Jaden, Matthew Golden, down the line.
So are him and Wicks both up next year?
No, so Wicks would have one more year. But again, typically, you're going to be, as you're entering that final year of the deal, as you know, that's when a lot of times the negotiations happen. It's what happened with Zach Tom this offseason, right? They gave him the big contract. He was set to be a free agent at the end of this year. They give him the security. So they're going to sign, presumably, Tucker Kraft to a big contract this offseason because he's going to be entering that final year. And I think, again, that just kind of limits everything that you're able to do. Now, are you going to free up some money on the, when you move on, presumably, from Elton Jenkins? There's ways to move on for money and open up some cash. And
then Sean Ryan's gone, too, right?
Sean Ryan's going to be gone. But it's just this kind of constant moving thing that the Micah Parsons deal, again, which I would do over and over and over again because Micah's that good of a player.
Oh, he's that good of a player, but then you add Rashawn Gary, who's having a very good year, probably benefiting from having Parsons.
Oh, he's 100%.
But his cap number is getting to the point where you scratch your head a little bit.
So this year it's about 25. Next year it jumps up to 28. But if Rashawn Gary has a career year, Chew, I mean, I know Rashawn is somebody that we have talked about, like, with this production, $28 million for a guy who gets 9 sacks probably doesn't make sense. But if he continues to do what he's doing, and I know he's disappeared for a couple of games.
Yeah.
But if at the end of the year you look down and he's in double-digit sacks for the first time, I think they probably ride it out for one more year.
Is their window wide open right now?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, the reason I say that, Gabe, why their window is wide open, they're going to start running into a little bit of cap issues. I mean, you can fudge the cap, but marry that with you don't have 2 first-round picks next year and the year after. So it's going to be a little tougher to replenish guys that
I mean, you're going to have to hit on.
You're not going to be able to bring back.
You have to hit on the 2nd and 3rd and 4th round picks to backfill this roster without a doubt.
So their money years are this year, next year, and the year after.
Yeah.
So you got to make hay.
Well, and I think we already knew that just based on the Micah Parsons deal, right?
Correct.
Because after this year, next year, and the year after, that 4th year of this contract for Micah Parsons, decisions have to be made because the number is so astronomical that you have to do something with that.
Wouldn't every team in the NFL kill to
for this
have
position
such an open 3-year window?
Yeah,
100%.
That may go down as the dumbest trade in the history of the NFL. Could very well go down as if the Packers win 2 out of the next 3 or 2 out of the next 4. It will be
it's 8:12 in the morning. Stop getting me so excited.
It'll be the
3 out of the
dumbest
next 4?
trade. It'll be the dumbest trade because you know what? You keep Dak Prescott and Micah Parsons, and you get rid of CeeDee Lamb. They're so dumb. Why are there so many dumb people in the NFL? It's just.
I don't know, but I'm glad we don't have those dumb people running our team. But again, it leads you, even though you have to figure out, okay, who are our core guys that we can keep this window open the longest with?
Mm-hmm.
And those are the questions that you're asking yourself when it comes to, okay, do we re-sign this guy? Do we re-sign that guy? Like, those are the questions you ultimately end up asking. And that's why I think Quay Walker's such an interesting one, because I was at the beginning of the season thinking there's no chance. But the way that Matt LaFleur talks about him, the way, again, he was selected a captain by his teammates. But is he truly somebody that the Packers want around? And if that's the case, why didn't they try to get a deal done sooner?
Didn't Jason tell us that there was reports of an offer, I don't know if being on the table, but an extension talk had happened?
Yeah.
I believe that was prior to the Micah thing and how that all is going to work out. I mean, you have to prioritize and you have to pick guys, and you have a lot of young guys that are all coming up at the same time.
Yeah.
I just don't view it as that big of a problem.
No, look. This is a first world problem thing, here, Josh, right? But it's still a conversation that they have to have of which young players do we want to be a part of this core of the window that Chewy was just talking about.
I guess I didn't explain myself well enough. I think they're going to be able to keep all the guys they want through the clever working of the cap. I think there might be a couple decisions where, yes, we would have liked that guy as another depth option, or we would have liked that guy. But I think when it comes to the guys they're going to prioritize as starters and guys they think they want around like longer term, I just don't know who really they'd be moving on from that they are going. That's going to be a bitter decision. Like I wish we didn't have to do this type of deal.
So you don't see a Micah Hyde in this group?
Not necessarily.
A Casey Hayward?
I don't think I do. I mean, both those guys went on to get better than they ever were as Packers, which is pretty rare. And a lot of that has to do with opportunity.
But also, like, those were guys after their first year or first deal, the Packers did not re-sign, or their rookie deal, and then they were able to kind of flourish. I mean, kind of similar to what the Packers did with Xavier McKinney.
So the way I view those two is the Packers, I never had the feeling the Packers really wanted to keep either two of those guys. Like, I didn't feel like that was
two?
Hayward and Hyde.
Oh, and
I think they just made bad evals. I think they thought they weren't as good as they ended up to go on to be.
Yeah, but Rasul was Ted. I think Rasul was Ted.
No.
And that
it was 2019. Rasul Douglas came in 2019.
Oh, I'm thinking of Hyde. Hyde was 10.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
He dropped the ball on that because he was a football player and he didn't like him for whatever reason. But correct me if I'm wrong, and you guys are just going to say I'm wrong because you never have my back. I'll just throw that out there as a caveat.
I just talked about how I had your back the last hour.
I believe I said Quay Walker would have a breakout year.
But that's the thing, Chew. I don't know if he's having a breakout year.
Yeah, like it's halfway through the season.
Yeah, but you're ready to write off Matthew Golden.
Oh, I nailed it. You're welcome. I could tell you I nailed it in week 8.
We're 7 games through the season.
And I even offered Joshy off the air to come join the club, and he still refused, which blows my mind. Yeah.
But I mean, I
don't know what does Joshy hate more? And we can pull this.
Okay.
Does Joshy hate? Does he hate being wrong, or does he hate me being right more?
Oh, that's easy. That's so
what is
easy.
It?
He hates you being right more.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. We don't even need to pull it.
I mean, we can.
All right.
Just to see how lopsided it gets.
Yes.
I think it's pretty obvious to anybody who pays attention to the show which answer that Joshy would choose. I mean, Joshy doesn't like being wrong. Nobody likes being wrong. But he hates you being right more because you are one of the biggest fans of I told you so. Which Chewy doesn't ever say, I told you so. What does he say? You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I want you guys to say it.
For the guy whose most frequent statement is self-praise stink PU, boy, he finds it ways to keep it on
Again, that's where the you're welcome thing comes, because he's not he's looking for you to pile it on.
That's right. If you phrase it correctly, it's not self-praise stink PU.
He wants to put the ball really close to the rim so you can dunk it for him. That's what he's looking to do.
It's just tap it on the
rim. That's what he's actually looking for.
Just call me Mr. Assist. That's what I'm all about.
Hey, guys, if you feel like you're running on empty, Mentality Health is here to help. Symptoms of low testosterone include low energy and motivation, fatigue, you're tired all the time, weight gain, muscle loss, especially belly fat, you're feeling anxious, moody, or irritable. Those are all signs of low testosterone. And the good news is Mentality can help. A local health care facility specializes in helping men feel and perform at their very best. And they focus on free testosterone, which can get overlooked by a lot of doctors. So they ensure that your treatment is tailored to your body. Again, this is one size fits all. They want to tailor that treatment for you. And if you work with Mentality, your energy comes roaring back, the belly fat burns off, your muscle strengthens, you feel like yourself again, confident, driven, and ready to tackle life. So don't let low testosterone hold you back. Be at your best for yourself and for your family. Go to the website, mentalityhealth.com/radio. Mentalityhealth.com/radio. Set up that first appointment. See if Mentality can help you, and you can start feeling like yourself again at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
We've got southbound 43 backing up now from just south of Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive, and the northbound side backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue up past Locust. Westbound 94 just tight right through the stadium interchange. Eastbound slowing from 84th Street all the way to 35th. And on 4394 northbound backing up right around the Plainfield curve all the way up to about the KK River crossing. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny skies, breezy with a high of 54. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 42. Weather's brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash. Today's forecast, crisp fall skies and a championship shine. Get your first wash free at TsunamiExpress.com. Game day ready, rain or shine, Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Gary Ellison for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking to escape the cold or take a midday break? Get your game on at Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, where it's always golf season. Play more than 2,000 courses, including over 50 right here in Wisconsin. And even that famous course where they hand out green jackets. Top tech simulators, great food, and the best Bloody Marys around. This is your year-round slice of summer. Bays start at just $35 an hour, Monday through Friday. Book your bay today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
The delicious taste of victory deserves something equally superior. Cheer on your team with Michelob Ultra. At 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, it's a superior smooth taste worth playing for. Grab a Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer as you cheer your team on. Michelob Ultra, official sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks. Enjoy a Michelob Ultra at Kelly's Bleachers Big Ben, Distillery Richfield, Tom's Watch Bar in Milwaukee, and Maddie's in New Berlin. Please enjoy responsibly.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
So many of our youth carry unimaginable burdens: anger, depression, even thoughts of suicide. At Rawhide Youth Services, we recognize their pain. We help them find hope and healing. For those that need a second chance at life, we refuse to give up on them. Please be a part of our life-saving work. When you donate your used vehicle to Rawhide, you're helping change the lives of countless youth in our communities. Donate today and get a $100 Quick Trip gift card. Learn more at rawhide.org/donate.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp therapists have helped more than 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. Moments in therapy, like the right question, a safe space to cry, or a small win can really change lives. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who have helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can start that journey. Our listeners get 10% off their first month. Just call or text pound 250 and say the keyword timeout. That's keyword timeout after calling or texting pound 250.
It's a bird bash at Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to $50,000 cash in the Bird Bash game show. Just play with your rewards card this October for a chance to win. Wouldn't you like to rake in a huge pile of cash? Bird Bash, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info at potawatomi.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
My father would always say, and there's a rhyme and a reason to it. He said, if you wear your rubbers in the house, you'll go blind. Do the two youngsters on the show here even know what rubbers are? I'm talking the ones that go over the shoes.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Wednesday here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy at Tony Wendorf and Associates. First Weber Group, they believe in the human side of real estate. Faith, family, friends. They move fast, negotiate with confidence, and communicate clearly so their clients win. No matter if it's buying or selling, get started today at wendorfteam.firstweber.com. A couple of texts here on the Carblish Talk and Text line, 800-990-3776. John saying, Goody has proven time and time again he can manage the cap along with Russ Ball. I don't see this being an issue at all. I'd actually put money on Romeo getting a second contract, which is interesting because Romeo Dobbs is another one of those guys that, again, along with somebody like Quay Walker, he's just interesting. I know he's got a great connection with Jordan Love, but what are you paying for if you give Romeo Dobbs a contract extension? Like, what are you paying for? I understand the $13 million that you gave Christian Watson, because what you're paying for there, Chew, is a guy who's big and fast.
Yes.
Right? He can stretch the field. I just don't know what you're paying for when it comes to Romeo Dobbs. Like, he's got the same...
He doesn't do anything great. He does a lot of things good, right?
Yep. He does some things good.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good route runner. He has good hands. He... where would you put his speed? Average speed?
Average to blow?
I mean, he is a 2, a mid-level 2.
At best, he's a 2. And it's funny because over at the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, there's a great article from Tom Silverstein. And Spoon is trying to dive in and try to figure out why, since the first 2 games of the year, because the Packers came out like gangbusters, 17 points, 14 points in the first half of those 2 games. Since then, they have struggled. and they have not played well in the first half, including this last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just 7 points, 3 punts in that first half against the Steelers. And his hypothesis is they finally get to what their actual philosophy is, Chew. In the second half, they actually start to spread it around more.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they actually start to spread it around. And in the first half, they force kind of focus in on one guy. And typically that one guy is Romeo Doubs. And he goes on to say, it's not to say you shouldn't be throwing the ball to Doubs at all, but at the same time, like, I think Doubs is probably getting too many opportunities, especially early in games, and that could be a reason why this team kind of struggles, because he's not an elite type of guy that you should be force-feeding these types of opportunities to early in games.
But typically your Z is going to get your most targets in this offense, you know? And then everyone else comes after Z. The problem is you can't move them to X because X...
You need more speed.
X is usually away. Well, usually he is always away from formation, but he's usually singled up on the backside, and he just doesn't have the speed to get that done. So that's why he gets the targets he does. And, you know, I've said this a million times before the Super Bowl, one of the easiest bets if you're in a West Coast type offense is the first completion, because they always like to get the quarterback warmed up with a 3 or a 5-step drop, short routes, and it kind of gets your linemen settled in too. You're not starting the game with a 7-step drop against Aiden Hutchinson on the outside against Wallace. It's just a way to get it going, and typically, like I said, Z gets the most targets. That's just the way this offense is set up. And then they get it going, and then the line settles in, and then Jordan settles in, and then you open your intermediate and deeper routes as the game goes along.
Yeah, I mean, I think the numbers are just there, and it's worth taking a look at the Silverstein piece of, hey, they kind of focus on one guy early in games, and maybe that's a reason why they are struggling a little bit in the first half, because they start to spread it around, and they did so in the second half against the Steelers. I mean, obviously they ended up targeting Tucker Kraft a ton, and he ended up, rewarding that faith with a career-high game. But that's where, I mean, you had pointed out, I think it was 9 or 10 different guys had caught balls in the game on Sunday, and a lot of that started to come after halftime when this team started to really start to go. In the final 2 quarters, so Kraft had 5 targets, Emmanuel Wilson 3, Watson had 2, Golden had 2, Dobbs, Heath, Jacobs, Musgrave, Fitzpatrick, Savion Williams had 1 apiece.
Well, that's also...
In terms of targets. That's targets.
That's also halftime adjustments when you go in there, and I'm sure the receivers and Kraft is probably saying, hey, these guys can't cover us. Let's throw the ball, because that's essentially what they did, is they aired it out.
Sure, but they also threw the ball early and didn't have success with it, maybe because they were focusing too much on one guy. Like, it's hard for me to take a look at some of the numbers that Spoon put in this piece and go, okay, like, Romeo serves a purpose on this team, but should he be force-fed targets early in the game the way that Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love, because, again, some of it's on Love as well, because there are times where Love throws the ball his way, and there might be other guys open if he's just a little bit more patient with the football.
But it's correctable, because you look at Tells, or actually the coaching staff look at Tells every game in, game out, and my guess is they see this and like, okay, we got to pivot away from this. So it's easily correctable. And I'm sure the run had a little bit to do with it, because he was very committed to the run early on in the game. It's very correctable.
What I would like to see, and just try it out, give it a little test. What if we just flip-flopped Matthew Golden and Romeo Doubs and saw what happened for a week?
Against a bad team, yeah, that's fine.
Give Matthew Golden those opportunities. You're not taking Romeo off the field, or really, I mean, you are a little bit, but that's like 10 to 15 snaps a game, and you're dropping the targets from those two and flip-flopping them around. Why don't we see how that works? Because it seems like, with the way I watched Matthew Golden in college and the things he's done well when he's had opportunity, seems like the things he does best are a lot of the things that they want Romeo to do as well.
Well, Josh, what I think is going to happen, because you're going to see, obviously, Watson's numbers go up, from 35 snaps to 50-something snaps. I think you're going to see Watson on the field much more, and you're going to see – we'll see if Golden pushes Dobbs to fewer reps. I don't think they're going to flip-flop.
I don't
think they're going to go Golden Z, and not when Christian Watson is back. Back. I think you'll see them. You might see Golden's reps go down a little bit, and you might see Dobbs' reps go down a little bit because they're going to leave Watson on the field. And I think eventually they want to get to where it's Golden and Watson on the field because that's a lot of speed, and speed kills.
I mean, it seems pretty clear, especially after the extension of Watson, that their preferred three would be Golden, Watson, and Reed.
Yes,
those are the three they want on the field probably the most, especially with Romeo Dobbs still being out there without a contract extension. That's what it's signaling to me, but I think that's going to happen in 2026.
Yes.
And we're just kind of hope to get the best out of Romeo because I think Romeo is a security blanket for both Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love because they know where he's going to be. They know the level of consistency he generally shows. He's not going to blow you off the page. He's not going to make a ton of explosive plays in terms of like running away from guys or making guys miss. But that's a guy they trust clearly to be in the right spot and make the catches.
Which is why I disagree with Kyle, because Kyle texts in on the Cardinals Talking text line, isn't Romeo Dobbs a Donald Driver 2.0? Security blanket can be valuable. Kyle from 262. No. Donald Driver made people miss.
Yeah.
Like, just go ahead and Google, Kyle, Donald Driver versus 49ers. And he actually happened to be wearing some throwback uniforms, which the Packers are going to be wearing throwback uniforms, and it seems like the one thing most people are interested in with the Packers helmets is how Romeo Dobbs' guardian cap is going to look with the way the helmets are going to look this weekend. But go look at that play that Donald Driver makes where he breaks like 8 tackles on his way to the end zone. Just Google Donald Driver versus 49ers, look at that play, and then come back to the Cardinals Talking text line and let me know if you think that Romeo Dobbs could do something like that.
Yeah,
because the answer is no.
I think there's a degree of people think we're much like the Rashawn Gary thing. It's not that we think Romeo Dobbs shouldn't be on the field.
No.
Or that he's like Equinemius St. Brown. That's definitely not.
No, he is light years ahead of EQ.
Yes,
light years.
And he's a good player and a player I think most teams would want to have around. The Packers are just in an interesting situation where they have a first-round pick. They have two guys coming back from injury, and we sort of know what Romeo Dobbs is at this time. I think the Packers would be happy with him as a third or fourth option every single week.
And I think that's what he should be, is the third or fourth. But instead, now I think Tucker finally passed him in targets.
And if he is the third option, he's better than 95% of other teams' third options.
100%. I just don't think he should be getting those number one option targets.
That's right there with you.
Yeah, I would like to see what happens if you gave Christian Watson those, if you gave Matthew Golden those, Jaden Reed those. Right? Because those guys are more explosive, and I think those guys can make bigger plays than Romeo can. Again, not saying that I want Romeo off this team, because there is value to him. But also because they don't know what to do with him is another reason why I don't think they're giving him a contract extension. And because he can't make those explosive plays, and you have guys behind him who possibly can, it's another reason why I wonder about a possible contract extension for him. We have spent some time talking about the Wisconsin Badger football program. I can't imagine we're going to spend much more time after today, but there was a major booster who did an interview for the Wisconsin State Journal. And I want to dive into some of that because we did talk about this earlier this week as well. We dive into that coming up next. It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, eastbound 94 is still going to be a little bit backed up from 76th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. Westbound has eased up nicely. We do have some delays on southbound 43 from just south of Silver Spring all the way down to about Center Street. Northbound's backed up from Fond du Lac Avenue up to about Locust. We've also got delays on southbound 41 from just before Appleton Avenue down past Hampton. Northbound slowing from just about at Mayfair Road past Burleigh, not quite to Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly sunny and breezy, a high of 54. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 42. Weather's brought to you by Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more. Easy and affordable apparel personalization with no minimums and fast turnaround. For all your printing needs, bigfrog.com/Mequon. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Want your brand to turn heads and win hearts?
Captivate Exhibits can bring your brand to life by transforming lobbies, creating history walls, and beautifying facilities.
For over 32 years, Captivate has been the MVP of trade show exhibits and workplace design and fabrication. Let Captivate craft immersive branded environments that tell your story boldly, beautifully, and with purpose at events and around the office.
Score big by making your next event or your own space unforgettable. Create something legendary by getting started today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
Coach Saban here. On the field or on your walls, coverage matters. That's why I go with Behr Marquee Interior Paint and Primer from the Home Depot.
Exceptional hide, advanced stain blocking, and over 1,000 colors to choose from. Behr Marquee delivers one-coat coverage that stands up to real life. One-coat coverage, no overtime. Behr Marquee, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Valid only when tinted to colors from the Behr Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Collection.
The post-career day press conference, brought to you by Progressive.
Anthony, can you tell us what happened during career day?
I'm a biomedical researcher. The kids just weren't impressed.
How did you feel when your son called in the backup?
Embarrassed, and I knew it would be a fireman. It's always a fireman. It's cliche, but a crowd favorite. He had an axe and everything. I can't compete with that.
And will the fireman be helping your son with his science fair project?
Hope not. I'm literally a scientist.
Like it or not, sometimes you need a backup. That's why there's Progressive to protect your home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
I've been to my fair share of green and gold games, and the best way to get there is with Accutrans Group. At Good Karma Brands and ESPN Milwaukee, we use Accutrans Group to get our partners to and from Green Bay, and it's always first class. From stadiums to concerts and tailgates, your game day fun starts the moment you step on board. Sit back, relax, and let their professional chauffeurs handle the traffic while you enjoy the ride. Accutrans Group is Milwaukee's premier ground transportation, available 24/7 with sedans, SUVs, limos, vans, and buses. Book today at AccuTransGroup.com.
When it comes to joint replacement, you want the best care available. The Orthopedic Surgery Center in Pewaukee is a leader in joint replacement, offering same-day surgery with advanced technology. Their team of experts specializes in knee, hip, and shoulder replacements, using the latest techniques to minimize pain and recovery time. By choosing them, you're choosing a center focused on providing specialized care tailored to your needs. The team at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin can get you back to what matters, living pain-free.
And their prices are more affordable than urgent care or the ER. And they'll send a full report to your primary care doctor. Why wait at the ER? Walk in to Ortho ASAP for faster, more affordable care.
Total joint replacement. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com. That's orthowisconsin.com.
You are listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You called them a white
find someone
stiff
else
earlier.
From one white stiff to another. I'm pretty well versed in the realm of stiffs.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Jim Polzine does a great job covering the Badgers over at the Wisconsin State Journal. And we've discussed the state of Wisconsin football on this show. Hasn't been good. They've lost 10 straight Big Ten games. Obviously, only have 2 wins this year. The whole Brando thing, Tim Brando kind of calling out what we believe was our guy, Brad Nortman, in the afternoons, who does know a thing or two about the University of Wisconsin football team and high school football here in the state of Wisconsin. There's no positive news around Wisconsin. And I don't know if this is positive or not. I think it's just good information, a good job by Jim, who sat down with Ted Kellner. Now, for those who don't know, Ted is a major booster of the University of Wisconsin.
I would go as far to say Ted is a large portion of why Wisconsin athletics are where they are right now and have been in recent memory.
Yes.
In terms of them growing into a national noisemaker in all sports, not just football.
Yeah, I mean, he is the guy.
Yes.
When it comes to Wisconsin boosters. Like, he is the guy. He's tight with Barry, and obviously with his money, he is tight with the program. So Jim Polzine talked with him on Monday, Chew, about the state of Wisconsin football. And some of the highlights saying Jim feels like the tone of Kellner has changed in the last 11-plus months since they chatted, although that might have to do with the last time they talked was before Wisconsin lost to Oregon last year in Madison. And it was more of a conversation about NIL and where Wisconsin fits in, especially a team like Oregon who has the backing of, Phil Knight and Nike, which last time I checked, Nike's got a lot of money, and Phil's got a lot of money, even more than Ted. But really, Kellner is not calling for anyone's head. The quote, here's the quote. "I don't get angst as a lot of people do. Do I wish we were doing better? Sure. Does Luke want to be doing better? Of course. But the decision on whomever we have at coach should reside only with Chris McIntosh. And I think he's a very good athletic director. And I think things will be vastly different next year on a number of fronts as it pertains particularly to football." So Kellner, you take a look at some of these other firings that have taken place. And college football is such a unique and hilarious space to me at times. For example, at LSU. They're going through some transition of the leadership at LSU, like at the university level, not just in the athletic department, but at the university level. So literally the governor of Louisiana was in on the meetings where they basically decided to fire Brian Kelly on Sunday. Like the governor of the bleeping state when they decided to fire Brian Kelly. That's how high up it went there. But obviously there were boosters that were putting pressure on the program, boosters that put pressure on Florida to get rid of their coach a couple of weeks ago. And a lot of times we see this. I think we see it in Texas, Alabama, all these major schools. When they have these struggles, boosters apply that pressure. While the main booster for the University of Wisconsin is not applying that pressure. And I'll tell you what, Chew, I respect the stance of, hey, I'm not qualified to make those decisions. Chris McIntosh is, and I trust Chris. I respect Ted Kellner saying that.
Yeah, I do, and I agree with them. Let people do their jobs, but they're not doing their jobs. That's the problem. I mean, what's going to get better? And I can tell you this. I'm familiar with a program where the coaches in administration fundraise in the off-season and raise $1 million or $2 million that go to NIL. I don't think Luke Fickell's doing that, or I haven't heard that Luke Fickell is putting together fundraisers to raise money so that money can go into a pool to get better players. Okay? How is it going to get better? Any kid that's worth his salt at Wisconsin, or half of them, are going to transfer out.
Yeah, I would think so.
How is next year going to be better? You need players in order to get better, unless you're going to spend $20 million, which they're not going to do, like Ohio State. And the reason, who's the guy at Indiana?
Curt Cignetti.
Cignetti, great coach, and they got an influx of cash from Mark Cuban.
Yep.
So they could go out and buy those players, but it doesn't happen overnight. I mean, this is terrible. You didn't go to a bowl last year in how many years at the University of Wisconsin?
Oh, it ended a 20-plus year bowl
20-plus years.
Yeah.
This year, you're probably going to win 2 games.
Yep.
So the standard, obviously, at Wisconsin is different than the standard at LSU, Penn State, Florida.
We kind of already knew that, though, didn't we? I mean, LSU, literally the last 3 coaches that were hired at LSU before Brian Kelly won national championships. Like, the standard at LSU is different. I mean, the standard at LSU is, honestly, it's probably a top 5 standard program in the country.
Gabe, what is the standard? You know what? I think Wisconsin fans would be fine with being Iowa. You know what Iowa did?
Spent $1 million on their quarterback.
$1 million on their quarterback, who's a good quarterback, won't play in the pros. He's a good college player. They spent $1 million.
Yep.
Until Wisconsin's willing to do that, to just be Iowa, it ain't going to happen. Otherwise, you're going to be Rutgers or Maryland. Now Rutgers and Maryland would love to have Wisconsin on their schedule, and I know Maryland already beat them. That's where we're at right now. That's the University of Wisconsin.
And again, I think it comes down to, as Chris McIntosh did in the letter he wrote to fans, Kellner alludes to in the piece with Jim Polzine, influx of money coming in. Again, I don't know where this money is coming from. I don't know where they found this money. I don't know why they didn't use this money before, if it was available to them. But it just seems to be the response right now from the university, and obviously now from a very financially well-off backer, is there's more money coming in. Next year, we're going to have more money, and things are going to change. And honestly, Chew, it can change overnight if you have enough money. But the vagueness of, we're going to have more money, that doesn't really help me out because I don't know how much money they actually have, and that's actually enough to make a difference. Because Indiana did turn it around overnight. They hired the right coach, they gave him a bunch of money, and they turned it around overnight. But they gave him, like you said, from Mark Cuban, they gave him a lot of money. And I don't know how much money the University of Wisconsin is going to have. And again, my problem comes back to if you do have that type of money that you can just now throw at this program.
Yeah.
I don't know if Luke Fickell has shown that he deserves another chance with that money, given some of the things he already has not done with this team. I don't think it's just as simple as this team is 2-in, whatever they are, with a 10-game Big Ten losing streak because they've had some injuries at quarterback.
And I can tell you this, if they do get they're going to have to overpay. Because if you're going to try to pay the same amount for a kid going to Wisconsin or Iowa, kid's picking Iowa. Why wouldn't you? You'd be like, well, they win. How long's Fickell going to be around? He can't win. That's the problem. It's like Green Bay way back in the heyday where it's like, well, we kind of got to overpay because we're Green Bay. You know what cures that, Gabe? Winning.
Mm-hmm.
Winning cures it. So.
And now you got to go out there and prove it. And it's just they've burned the whole they've almost burned this whole thing to the ground, which is just shocking in how quickly it happened. Right? Like so shocking. Like because they had injuries at quarterback last year too. And I can explain that to that's why the bull streak came to an end because they had some injuries at that specific position. They still won some games. Heck, they were competitive in a couple of those really big games last year. The problem is this year, Chew.
But if you look
like this program's gone from what it was to embarrassing very quickly.
Yeah. And Gabe, it's not injuries, it's not whatever. They don't have good players. They just don't have good players, And going out and getting 30 good players? You want to do that in a year? With Fickell? Good luck.
Yeah, it's...
Good luck.
I just don't know where they go from here. Because, based on this article, based on the letter that was put out by Chris McIntosh a couple of weeks ago, I don't think anything's changing.
Yeah.
It does not seem like anything's changing other than a mystery amount of money that's going to come into the football program. That's about the only thing that's going to change.
I agree.
And I don't know if that's going to ultimately be enough to change and turn things around for Wisconsin. And then they just kind of float into irrelevancy. And the crazy part is, and I know it's different because basketball, you don't have as many players, right?
Yeah,
it's just not as, you only have 15 players max on the roster or whatever. But the basketball program hasn't had any issues shifting into this new era.
Mm-mm.
Zero issues. Greg Gard, despite a lot of people not thinking he could, has figured out how to operate in this new era of college athletics. Wisconsin's been pretty good. Wisconsin's been good on the basketball side the last couple of years.
Well, it's a little different in basketball because these shoe companies have been paying whoever for years, so the landing's been a little softer.
Still, you got to go out. You got to identify. You got to know how to spend that money.
Yeah.
You still have to have money.
Correct.
And they've been able to figure it out over on the basketball side of things. And again, I understand it's different, and you need a lot more money for a football team because there's a lot more bodies over there. But it is interesting to see how other parts of that athletic department have figured it out, and they haven't been able to figure it out in football. Did we put anything on the poll, Josh? Did we even bother putting the Chewy poll up?
No.
Okay.
We know where that
we knew that one was going to go? Okay. We wrap up the show. Coming up next, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Hey, ESPN Milwaukee listeners, Josh DiMaggio here for my friends at Wanna Parlay, my favorite daily fantasy sports app with the absolute largest payouts on parlays. We know it's the football season. We've also got basketball baseball, and a little hockey even going. So it is the time to play. I'm looking at the Baltimore Ravens to win on Thursday, Lamar Jackson to have an anytime touchdown, and Zay Flowers to have over 72.5 yards. Also, I like the Denver Broncos as slight underdogs against the Texans. Here's what you should do. Download the Wanna Parlay app, click around, and when you decide to upload money to play and get into the action, use promo code JGC for a 100% deposit match for up to $250. Download the Wanna Parlay app, use promo code JGC, and let's play the world's richest parlay today. You must be 18 years or older to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER today.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
I would just say that right now I think all options are on the table. I think that they went through that trade thing and they talked to teams, and it's not like those talks are shut down.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino, Tony Wendorf and Associates, and Smart 18 Union. On 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Imagine your home totally organized. At Closets by Design, we specialize in providing affordable, custom-built storage solutions with built-ins and beyond, from garages to new home offices. Our experienced designers work within your budget to design a solution fit perfectly to your needs. Get 40% off plus an additional 15% with 18-month financing. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to get started. Let's get organized together.
We love the Packers. We bleed green and gold. And every time our team takes the field, well, it's pure football bliss. If only there was a way to experience that blissful winning feeling every day. At Associated Bank, we've got you. With 10% off Lambeau concessions and 15% off Pro Shop merch. All when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank. It's how Packers fans keep winning on game day and every day. Associated Bank, Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Crispy chicken just keeps getting better at Cousin Subs. Try our crispy chicken basket, complete with 3 white meat tenders and a regular fry, a meal made easy. And for the little ones, our kids meal comes with 2 crispy tenders, applesauce, a juice box, and cookie. Just the right size for growing appetites. Made with quality chicken and ready to enjoy in-store, online, or on the app. But hurry, these crispy favorites are only around for a limited time. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Bubble is a
Tuna.
dating app.
It's tuna.
I love tuna. I had some last night.
How do you eat your tuna?
Can we, for once, grow up on this show?
On 94.5 ESPN.
It started with a whisper. Couple texts I want to get to on the Carbless talking text line, 800-990-3776. A couple of people wondering if Dobbs could be traded. Or, have we traded a wide receiver for a cornerback? So, first and foremost, let's address Dobbs. I did think at the beginning of the season there was a chance that Dobbs could be traded if everybody was healthy. And, okay, we can move forward. The problem is not everybody's healthy. Even Dontavian Wicks now has a calf injury. Obviously, we know Jaden Reed is out, too. So the fact that not everybody's healthy and you want to make sure you maintain your depth there, if they trade anyone, to me, it would be Dontavian Wicks. But even that, I think, would be a bit of a stretch right now. So I can't imagine that Romeo Dobbs would get traded at the trade deadline next week. I just don't see that as a possibility.
No, because Wicks will be your number 4 next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dobbs will be gone. It'll be Golden, Watson, Reed, Wicks.
Yeah, so again, there's a world in which they could trade Wicks, but I think that's a slim possibility.
And there's a good connection with Love and Dobbs. You write it out this year, just in case, break glass in case of emergency. There's a couple hamstrings in there. No, I wouldn't. Not when you're sitting atop the NFC right now.
No.
With home field advantage. Just the only thing, like I said, last couple of days I'd like to see him do is beef up that corner room a little bit.
Yeah, but like we talked with Adam Schefter, if you missed that conversation, just go to the ESPN Wisconsin app and go listen to it from hour number 1. Adam doesn't think there's a lot of corners out there.
No.
And that's the problem. It's a tough position to play, and not a lot of teams are trading their best guys or even top guys. I was doing the research yesterday on the guy that the Titans traded, Chew.
Yeah.
His numbers are slightly better, but not like if Hobbs goes out there on Sunday and forces one incomplete pass, then their numbers are about the same. He's in the same ballpark of what Hobbs has been. It hasn't been that great.
My guess is they're doing something. They're working combinations. I would not be surprised if possibly throwing Bullard to see what he could maybe do out on the edge. And
I can't imagine. I mean, he's a safety.
They got to
by
do
trade.
something. You got to do. I know.
That's a transition. That's a transition, Chew, I think you can make in the offseason, but I don't think you can go in the middle of the season.
Let's see what we can do. I'm just saying break glass in case of emergency. They got to have
That's what Bo Melton is.
Up their sleeve.
That's what Bo Melton is.
No, I know.
But again, and we talked about this at the beginning of the year. There's not a lot of teams that have cornerback depth, which is why it's hard to trade for cornerbacks. Because if you have decent ones, rarely do you let them walk out.
I wonder if I moved to D-end what I would have done.
Do you think you'd have been all right?
Hell yeah. Just ask Joshy.
Willie and Tausch coming up next.
Countdown on 43, a bit heavy.